Hey guys, what's going on? Troy at Mountain Man Trasher here. We're in the car. We're driving back home. A little bit of a holiday vacation, a little trip back home across the state. And you know what? While I was there, we of course did some sourcing. And so this one, part one of what turned into a two-part series of where to source that's not necessarily a thrift store.
Mountain Man Treasures.
Welcome into the channel, guys. Again, my name is Troy. There's Mountain Kid back there, based out of Montana. And this channel about reselling. What that means is I go into places typically like garage sales, estate sales, thrift stores, stuff like that, and find things that I think are priced low and then flip them for profit online. I do that on eBay primarily. And like I said, out of town this weekend, and we did hit one thrift store. I hit a Goodwill, but I ended up sourcing stuff from 3 other locations that were not a thrift store. And so, especially for those that are a little bit newer to the reselling game, wanted to show you that you can profit from things at all kinds of locations. And so on this video, the first of 2, I'm going to show you what we were able to source out of an antique mall. And that sometimes is tough, but we actually made really good money out of an antique mall in Billings, and partially because I found one really good item, and well, there were 2 of the really good items. We're going to show you that, a little bit of a thrift haul here, and then, well, we've got another one too. We'll tack that on at the end. So let me get home, and then we'll lay the stuff out and we'll show you what we picked up. Here, the highlight of our finds. These are incredible. We're going to talk about those here in a minute, but here is the totality of what we found, and we'll just kind of go down the line here. Miss Piggy, this is a Jim Henson Fisher Price team up, and this is really cool, guys. This I paid $55 for, and they were firm on that price, and that's fair. That's fair, because this puppet, it sells very well. I have not listed it yet, but the Miss Piggy puppet sells for about $50 or $55 by itself. But guess what? This one has, as you can see, the box. And when you add the box to something vintage very often, that really increases the value. And that's what happens here. Even though this box is a little bit chewed up, right? I mean, there's definitely some marks on it. This has been through a little bit. You know, there's one right there. But doesn't matter. So many of these don't have a box at all. If they've got a box, you're going to get at least $100 for this. So we're pretty much going to double our money. And that's going to be kind of the story of the day, is doubling up. So here's Miss Piggy. This one valued at about, let's just say $100. I might price it up a little bit. Here's Deion Sanders. Prime time. This guy was unbelievable in his day. Now, this is a Baltimore Ravens, and it's an exclusive. Very often it was the white jersey. This one, the purple road jersey. And I paid $19.95 for this guy. It ought to sell for between $40 and $50. And very easy to list. And it's got a really good sell-through rate. So happy about that. We'll come over here, I guess, next. Bob's Big Boy. This is really cool. It's a cast iron. Oh, knocked over Sauron. This is a cast iron bank, and it must weigh about 4 or 5 pounds. It's really heavy, but very cool. Now, I paid up for this guy mostly just I thought it was really cool, and it's in great condition. Now I paid, what was it? I paid, I think, $45 for this, something right in there. And honestly, that might be about what he's worth, is about 45 or 50 bucks. But there are some listed, and actually one guy's got a bunch listed, and they've sold at like 110 bucks. So I think just because there are not a ton of them out there, scarcity is driving up the price a little bit. And so I'll see if we can't get maybe, again, double our money for this guy. Now down here, these are, I'll flip it around, the Looney Tunes Golf Collection. They're ball markers. And really cool. They came out of the Warner Brothers store back in the early 90s. And these are completely unused. Really cool. There are sold comps, not that many, for about 20, I think up to $25. 20 is the most recent. I put it at auction, but we'll do buy it now on this one, and I ought to get between 20 and 25 bucks. We paid $5 for that one. Now this badge, this is a reproduction from the Territorial Prison in Deer Lodge, Montana. It's a vintage reproduction. Really high quality badge. I mean, heavy duty. This probably would have been in like a general store or something. I don't know, but very cool. And not a ton of these, of course, out there either. Paid, I think, $16 for this. And again, we'll probably double our money, or at least come close. This wasn't worth a ton. I just thought it was cool, so I picked it up. Now here, the Flintstones, Bedrock City. This one in Custer, South Dakota. This dated 1970. Not many of these. Now, there is a little bit of, there's some damage here. Again, up here. This was pinned to the wall. You can see where somebody had thumbtacks in there and had this on their wall. Really cool piece here. There are not many listed or sold of this, really. And so I did price this up. I paid, I think, $10 for this, or it was like $9.95, something like that. And I think we ought to get 25, 30 bucks for this. This is really neat. So that is the, double it up kind of stuff. Now here, these are the winners. Let me tell you, we'll flip the camera around after I show you here and tell you what happened. Now, these are two separate pins. This one I found out through somebody on Instagram with the two posts on the back. That was a hat badge. And this one would have gone on the jacket with the pin. Now you can see there, it says, property of WDW, Walt Disney World, not for sale. It's got a serial number, and it's made by the Sun Badge Company. Both of them have that on there. This is an incredible find. So the badges, the very first thing I found actually walking into the store, when you walk in, off to the right-hand side was a clear case, and it had several things in it. Most of it, what was in it was like coins, right? And so I did stop, and I kind of was glancing at the coins, and then I saw these guys sitting on the top shelf, and they're kind of tucked in the back. One of them was facing up and the other was upside down, but you could see they were both the same thing, or I assumed they were the same thing. And they were both tagged $200. And so I actually asked the guy running the store, said, is this guy negotiable on anything? Does he work with prices at all? And he said, you know what? He really doesn't. Especially up here, he says this is his primo stuff up here in the front. He's got a booth over on the other side, and a lot of that stuff is actually 50% off right now. So he's running a sale, and this stuff he normally doesn't have discounted anyway. So, I was talking with the guy and said, well, I was just curious because there's two of them here, and I'd be interested in both if he was willing to swing a deal for somebody that was picking up both of them. He kind of hemmed and hawed and was really kind of saying a couple different ways, like, the guy doesn't really do that. But then eventually sort of said, well, would you like me to check anyway? He's setting up at the gun show. I could call him and see what he says. Sure, yeah, give the guy a call. So he calls him up. I hear him get him on the phone, and he says, he explained to the guy, somebody's looking at the two Disney badges, wondering if you'd do a deal. And so then the guy asked me, he says, well, what were you offering? What are you thinking? And so I almost said, what about $350 for the pair, right? Because this is a guy that doesn't negotiate. At least that's what I'm being told, right? But I thought, you know what? That might be what he gives them to me for. So let's start lower to give myself room to meet in the middle, right? So I said, well, if I get them both today, right now, what about $300, right? Because then that gives the guy to come up, the room to come up to 350. I could try for 325 then, see if he was willing, and then settle on 350 if he wasn't, because it's still a good deal. And I'll tell you why. He passes on the 300, and the guy says, really? Okay. He said, okay, deal. So I said, yeah, done deal. Wrap them up. I was thrilled. I'd have bought them at $200 a piece, to be quite honest with you. Again, here you go. This is Walt Disney World Security, and this is it's not a cast member part, right? Like they have those. This is an actual security officer wore this. Now, Disney, as far as I understand, have their own police department. They have their own fire department. They've got their own 911 service. They have a roads department. It is a little city. And these are not available. These aren't in the gift store right now. They actually have some of these very rare pins, just small, the Disney pins. The replicas of these that are turned into a pin sell for almost $100 for a pin. There have only been, I don't remember the number, maybe 24 of these going back Worth Point going back the last 15 years, right? They're not a ton of official stamped available. And you guys all probably know there are a ton of Disney collectors out there. So those that are a little bit serious and want all things Disney, not many of these for them to grab. So looking back, Worth Point does keep 15 years. I've recently signed up. I thought, I'm finding enough weird, random stuff. It's worth it for me to sign up, and that way I can see the history of things. And so I did end up signing up for Worth Point. And it's a good thing. It's paid off on a few things already. Now this, I could look back and see that some people sold it for like $300. Some people sold it in the $400, $450. The highest was actually in the last 3 months. One popped up that somebody sold for $585. And it was tarnished, like on the ear, and it was old. It wasn't super well taken care of, and it was a little bit beat up. This one, there are a few very small nicks and scratches, but this thing is bright and shiny new. It's beautiful. And so I thought, I can get at least that much, right? I mean, that guy set the bar, and I thought, you know what? I'm going to push it a little bit further. I'm going to try. And so I did list this one last night. This is Sunday afternoon as I'm recording this. So I listed this Saturday night at probably 9 or 10 o'clock, something like that. It was listed for 20 minutes, and I got an offer of $450 after 20 minutes. I got about a half hour later, somebody sent me an offer of $400. So I countered both of those, and I went to bed. And then I woke up, and I had 4 more offers that came in overnight on this thing, ranging from $300 to $500 in there. So I'm like, okay, yeah, it had 9 watchers that it picked up in about 12 hours. This thing is a hot ticket. And so I had it listed. It's on sale right now in my store at, I think it came down to like $617 because I priced it stupid high, knowing that it was going to come down with the sale that was still going to be above what this traditionally sells, probably on average at $500. Okay, when it pops up. And so I did have a guy come in hot at $550 in one of those offers last night. And so I countered back to him at, I think, $604.99. I don't know, something like that. And then as I'm sitting there, sort of countering, and I was going live back and forth. I was fielding offers simultaneously. And so I was saying, hey, I've sent out other offers. This isn't going to last a long time. I'm getting offers. Somebody sent me $450. I said, hey, I've gotten already a $550. I'll send you this deal, but it's not going to last a long time. And somebody came in hot at $550. And so I countered at $599. It took about 3 minutes, and he took it. Item sold. And about 5 minutes later, buyer paid. This thing just sold for $599 plus priority shipping. And I've got another one to list. I've got the hat badge still to list. So remember, we paid $300 for both of them. This one sold for double that. So basically everything that we have back here now is going to be profit. a little bit less, I got to sell a little bit more, but I mean, easy math, that's all profit now back there. This thing was an incredible find. It's so rare to find one, and I found two. So super excited to go into an antique mall and pull out hundreds of dollars of profit, mostly because of these little Walt Disney World badges. So keep an eye out for Walt Disney stuff, guys. Now, not everything Walt Disney is going to be worth money. Okay, so don't go out and buy up everything Walt Disney, but there's a lot of stuff out there that is collectible, so keep your eyes open for it. And one thing, as I pointed out, this thing, $5.99 plus shipping, I see a lot of people that sell stuff, collectible like this, that's hard to find for, I don't know, $200, $300, $400, $500, $600, whatever it is, free shipping. As far as I'm concerned, if somebody is willing to pay $600 for this, they're willing to pay $12 for me to ship it. That's I almost dropped it. That I'm going to hold it like this. That's my thinking. If somebody's willing to shell out that much money for an item, they don't care to then throw in $10, $12, $15, whatever it is to ship it. So I think you're just costing yourself money. Now, is it a lot of money? No, you're making a ton of money anyway. But I have had fantastic success listing things like this that are collectible and highly sought after with charged shipping. Collectors don't mind because they're already shelling out so much money. So the free shipping, that works great on something that's a hat or a game or, whatever it is. Free shipping, that sort of encourages somebody to buy it. This, they don't need any encouragement. They're already trying to buy it. So charge them the shipping. So that place number one, where you can go to find things to flip online for a profit that is not an estate sale or a thrift store, garage sale, places like that. Now, it's often harder at antique malls, but you can do it. I've just shown you can do it, and I've done it before. And now I just sold something else that I picked up. I'm seeing the notification. I'm seeing something else that I just sold for over $200 that I picked up in a not thrift store. You're going to have to wait to the next video for me to show you that one, because what I'm going to show you now is stuff that I did walk into a thrift store and pick up. Not nearly as impressive as this, but we got some stuff. All right, so here's the other stuff that we picked up. Mostly, honestly, plush, because we didn't get to Goodwill on Friday until after lunchtime. Well, after lunchtime. It was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, something like that. And so it had been hit pretty hard. It was 50% off for Black Friday. So not a whole lot left, but I did hit an area that I don't think people had hit. So we did find some stuff, and we'll just start down here. Here we got Snoopy. He's still got his tag on there, which is awesome. Now, this is a golf head cover, actually, or it's, officially it is a hand puppet, but we're going to list it as both. And it probably will sell as a golf head cover, golf club cover. That's usually what happens with these things. So this is a really cool find. Typically, you find them without the shirt on. And so that he has his original shirt is a pretty neat deal. I got to look him up. He might be listed by the time I put this out, but I'm going to guess that he's $20, something like that. Maybe 25, something like that. Same deal for this guy. He also has his tag still, and he's even got the applause thing on the side, and this is really cool. Snoopy in a tux, again, a vintage piece there. I think he's probably, again, about $20. Not bad. We paid $1 a piece on the plush. Clifford, the big red dog. Now his tag's been cut off, but I just knew the look and assumed, and I'm pretty sure that this is a Kohl's Care plush. Typically, I stay away from those, from the Kohl's plush, because there are a ton of them. But Clifford's got the movie out right now, so I thought for $1, why not, right? He's probably $10 plus shipping, something like that. Not super high dollar at all. This is another Wild Republic. I've been finding those lately. And this is a baby Triceratops. And so pretty neat. Again, probably, I don't know, $10, something like that. And we just made another nice international sale. This is a nice weekend. Okay, and then here, a vintage Bambi. This is pretty cool. This is a Disney, there it is, Disney promotional products tag on there. So this is pretty neat. It's wired legs so he can stand up. And I just thought he was cool. Again, nothing big, probably $10. Of course, I pick up the Cowboys bear. pretty neat with a hoodie. I haven't seen one like that before, so he's got to be 10 or 15 bucks. Then I did pick up a hat. Look at that. Black hats pick up hair like crazy. I'm going to have to take some tape to this thing before I try to photograph and list it. But deadliest catch, where they're out catching king crab and that out in Alaska. This has a big following. It's got, there's the Time Bandit, Cornelia Marie. We got the Northwestern. It's got all of the ships on there. So pretty cool hat. Actually, on the back, it's got like a little rubberized part on the back. I like this hat. This is a cool hat, and it ought to sell for probably 15 bucks. This is brand new. You look on the inside, it is spanking new, just without tags. So this is probably a $15 hat. And then here, my father-in-law actually found these because he ran in there with me, and he says, hey, I found some Levi's over there. They look older, button fly. What do you think? And yeah, we got a Big E Levi's here. This is not old Big E, but still. And this is, I mean, Levi's going crazy with their naming. This is the wedgie line. This is a women's 25, and these are pretty good. It's button fly. Often the Levi's button flies are going to go for more. They're more valuable, more desirable. I can't get it open, but there you go. See, there's a button in there. And so that makes this a pretty nice find. I think these will go for probably 25, 30 bucks at least. They might push 40. We'll see, depending on how many are out there. So no huge finds at the Goodwill, but like I said, got there really, really late. So frankly, happy to find anything there. The plush, sort of easy to list store filler. Then we got the nice hat and the nice pair of jeans. Those also both very easy to list and store and ship, and that's the kind of stuff I like. So we got a little non-thrift and a little thrift. Like I said, coming in the next video, I'll show you somewhere else that I went to source. Actually, 2 more places that were not thrift stores that we're going to make money off of. Pretty cool. So thanks for hanging out with us, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you to all who have subscribed. Thank you, everybody, wishing me and my family happy Thanksgiving. Got birthday wishes. My birthday was on Friday, so thank you for that so much. We are really, really close to 10K. I think we're at 9,940 something right now. So really, really close. And it's just incredible that we've reached this point. We'll hit it certainly by Christmas. And I never imagined that this channel would get as big as it has. So thank you so much. I'm so excited to continue and to grow and do even more and better next year. So I'm going to let you guys go. I have a whole lot of stuff from this weekend to pack up, and more stuff is selling. So I got to get going. I got to let you get going, but I'll see you next time. Bye, guys.